Greetings everyone. I'm so happy to have again my guest Baha Yetkin to discuss yet a new topic where we have a great news of another Oud book. Hi Baha.
Hello, Fadl. How are you?
Good. I do remember, and I think our viewers do remember our first interview on Alnadi. It was a great experience shared. We have touched
Yes.
into many things starting from the biography. For those who didn't see this interview, please go ahead and see it. Today we are going to focus on the Oud book. Congrats, Baha, on the book.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, what is new about this book? Why do we need another Oud book?
Uh, First of all, we have lots of wood books in the world, but mostly they are in Turkish, Greek, and Arabic.
Mm.
There is only one or maybe two English wood book, but there are mostly exercise book or very thin and uh, very short to understand, very small
Uh huh.
size, I can say. Uh, so they don't give you proper wood study.
Mm.
And we have in Turkey, I can show, I think, this book.
Mm.
It's by Mutlu Torun,
Uh huh.
Oud Method. This is that thick, so it's very thick.
Uh huh.
So if you practice this book,
Mm.
you can start from beginning to advanced class.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes you to a journey, and you can when you finish the journey, you already play lots of maqams, lots of technical things, everything.
Yeah.
But this is sometimes uh, comes too much to people.
Mm.
Uh, in my experience, at least last 6 years in London, because when I was in Turkey, I was teaching. I used to teaching,
Uh huh.
but in here I come across different people. So tra- different people come from different traditions, different cultures,
Mm-hmm.
and their understanding is different. So I need to shape my teaching style related to their reaction or their response feedbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So when I put some paper from this book or other Arabic book or Turkish books, uh, they they ask lots of questions. What is this symbol? So what should I do here?
Mm.
And it doesn't clear
Mm.
for them. So
Yes.
if you know music, it would be clear. But if you don't know the music and you also already start reading notation or reading music, it's very difficult. It comes
Mm-hmm.
difficult.
Mm.
And in my book, I took out the uh, accidentals, like specific Turkish or Middle Eastern accidentals.
Mm-hmm.
I use just flat, like Western flat and sharp and naturals.
Mm.
So main notes, like all whole and half steps, I can say.
Mm.
I use just those in my
Mm.
first book
Yeah.
uh, for beginners, because beginners can't recognize also one comma flat
Mm.
or quarter flat in Arabic word.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't recognize and they don't know where where they put their finger.
Okay.
So that's the problem. And from book, you can't teach them where to
Mm-hmm.
put.
Mm.
So that's why I took out those complication things,
Mm-hmm.
complicated things, and make it simple.
Mm.
First, understand oud, how we play, how we make a connection between both hands,
Mm-hmm.
and then also which finger comes which note, and how we change our positions, or
Mm-hmm.
why we use second position as main position.
Uh-huh.
This kind of basic things I give in this book.
Mm.
When they finish this book, uh, they would be playing, uh, not like professional, but they would be playing in a level. So they can
Okay.
play when they see a song, they can play.
Mm-hmm.
Some notes, maybe like traditional songs, if they play, maybe there are some mistakes, but they can play and they can find the uh, correct pitch or correct position
Hmm.
by their ear. So
Okay.
it would be easy end of the book.
Uh-huh. Okay. So this decision is maybe difficult to go only for like things I think related to minor and major.
Yeah, kind of. Yes.
Yes.
Again, I used also Turkish makams, of course, because second book I'm gonna explain Turkish makams how we play.
Sure.
But this book, for example, Kürdi,
Mm.
Acemaşiran, Mahur, Rast, they are very close to minor and major
Okay. So you,
tonalities. So I
yeah.
use those things. I
Mm.
just don't use like Turkish music accidentals. That's all.
Okay. Just a simplification for them to just
Yeah,
grasp
exactly,
and digest and then move forward with more intricate and advanced listening
exactly,
skill,
exactly,
which will
exactly.
reflect on their hands for sure. So,
Yeah,
when
obviously.
you say first book, what is the plan in here? How many
Uh,
volumes?
yeah, I'm gonna. It's my plan to release the three versions of 3 volumes.
Uh-huh.
So first one, beginner to, let's say, intermediate.
Mm,
Second one, whole intermediate to advanced.
mm,
And the third one, advanced things. Advanced would be not a book because it would take some time. Maybe only a video, like video book, maybe
uh-huh.
video course, maybe I can do
Mm,
because today's the world changes and it turns to global world change
mm,
to internet thing
yeah.
next to paper things.
Uh-huh.
So maybe I can do the advanced one on video, like video
Mm,
book, some
mm,
preparations, notes and video together.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not there now.
Maybe
Just
it's early
I'm planning
to make.
second.
Yeah, it's not. It's maybe early to
Yes,
finalize a
yes,
decision on this.
yes.
But I would like to have an idea. What is the scope? Like, what are you covering in this first book? How is it jotted or sketched out?
It starts from open string, like playing
Mm,
open string, just downstroke. We have 2 strokes,
mm,
down and up. That's
mm-hmm.
all.
Yeah.
So start from downstroke and using down up stroke and related to notes scores shape. For example, 1 8 note front, 2 16 note back.
Mm,
So when you see these notes, how we use our right hand.
mm,
So this kind of specific exercise,
mm,
specific for specific notes. I put some exercises and then I wrote another exercise for combine those
mm,
styles, score styles,
mm-hmm.
and also there are position change.
Mm,
And in one position, they practice some like scale
mm,
exercise like da da ti da 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 ti da da ti da da ti da, something like this. But
mm-hmm.
there, I wrote also recommended metronome BPM. If
Mm,
you start with this BPM and after playing clearly and without any mistakes, you can upgrade the tempo like 5 BPM
mm,
and up to, for example, 90 BPM. So
okay.
if you come to 90 BPM and playing that exercise in 90 BPM clearly, you are done with this these fingers, this let's say tonality or makam.
Mm,
So you can use your fingers and you already connect both your hands.
mm. Interesting. So this is the scope of volume one, but maybe let's elaborate more on the type of this book. Is it only a textbook?
It would be also video. Uh,
Okay,
I'm gonna release on textbook around 100 pages,
okay.
but also there are more than 100 exercise, just 110 exercises, 10 or 12 compositions, Turkish music compositions.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna play those exercises and take a video and upload on Udemy.
Ah, okay.
They can buy videos from Udemy, and they can download and watch whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And also in their computer, they can do reverse
Mm.
to video.
Okay.
There are some video maker programs they can do it. They can do it.
Okay.
Uh, so they will see my hands,
Mm.
also just whole body,
Mm.
both hands, and separately right hand and left hand.
Okay. So this
They
is
will see.
tailored now. This book is like a modern format, which has a textbook plus
Yeah,
videos with several camera views.
yeah.
Okay, and it's linked to the exercises. And I'm sure, today you are doing super peer, you are doing maybe other platform teaching. All of this came into the recognized need for your students, where
Yes.
many people are really facing a piece of paper or a sheet of music where it doesn't tell much. Even the English text does not tell much.
Of course, because it's a part of tradition,
Hmm.
part of culture, like language.
Hmm.
If you want the language, if you want to learn language, you
Hmm.
should live in that country to live within that language.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can learn, but it would be a limit.
Okay. All right. Now this is the format of the book and the content.
Yeah.
Uh, is it written in a progressive? I do understand it is written in a progressive format, so the
Yeah.
student can go from one place to another. And
Yes.
this will be supported by the videos, right? And by maybe you tell them if you reach to 90 and it sounds like this video, then you go to the next level. How do you guide them throughout the book?
Uh, just I put a
Hmm.
video link
Hmm.
uh, at the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
And then if they go to Udemy and find my videos, they can buy those videos and download their computer or just
Hmm.
watch on Udemy application.
Yeah.
They can find like if it's written on book exercise 23.
Hmm.
If they go to that, they will find exercise 23.
Hmm.
They can easily match the video and exercise.
Okay, interesting. And what about the need of an instructor? Can they use the book alone on their own? Because many of the method books that we know about, or maybe oud books, or maybe other
Yeah.
instrument books, we always need an instructor to guide us. Can this work for both cases, or instructor driven uh, kind of?
Actually, if they if they do what I gave in this
Hmm.
book, uh, if they do correctly,
Hmm.
they don't need for at least until this book, yeah, end of this book,
Yeah.
because it's beginner level, and maybe once a month they can take a lesson from me or a Turkish Oud teacher to
Hmm.
make them correct. So if do something wrong and before doing a behavior,
Hmm.
it's become a behavior. They need to change.
Uh-huh. Interesting. So, and do you give them a chance to communicate with you in case they need lessons, so they
Of
can
course,
complement? Yeah.
they can. Of course, they can.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I wrote my email in the book. They can reach out me whenever they
Okay.
want.
Your website and so on.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
For the scores, are you promoting the Turkish scores system, or what kind of scores in that book?
Yeah, I use Western style. We in Turkish music we use Western notation.
Uh-huh.
Just we have accidentals, different accidentals,
Mm.
like 1 comma accidentals, 4 comma, 5 comma, and 8 comma.
Mm.
Uh, so microtones to show microtones. Uh,
Mm.
I don't use those microtonal accidentals
Mm.
because I believe those makes people confused.
Okay. Okay. So just one point here.
Yeah.
So in this book you are teaching your students to learn the way we read Turkish music, right? So we
Yeah.
can transpose. You teach them also the transpose
Not
uh,
in this book. It would
later.
be in second book. Yes.
So in this book you teach them to play what they see on the score
Yes.
without any
Exactly.
complication of
Exactly.
balahank or
Because
whatever. Yeah,
in book we tune first string is D, but we say G or Sol.
yeah.
So there's a complication, and I explained in the book because we have our music, Turkish music, registered on D.
Okay.
So it's related to tambur and ney.
Mm,
So D, piano D,
mm,
our sol.
yeah.
It comes to sol. And
Mm,
oud, tambur, ney, those three instruments, and kemençe as well, related to that register.
yes.
And we tune our instruments in that register.
Mm,
So that's why we use this tuning
mm,
system and this tuning
yes.
in our tuning oud.
Mm,
That's related to Turkish music. But once they learn, and this is sol, sol, re, la, mi, si, fa sharp or D.
mm-hmm,
Uh, Once they learn, they can transpose other tones as well.
mm,
Because I'm gonna explain in my second book. In Turkish music, there is no exactly sol or la or do
mm,
because music is a makam music, and makam is a characteristic melody means.
yes. Yes.
So if you create that feeling on this note, okay, you can
Mm,
do a makam, let's say Rast, Uşak, Hijaz, whatever, on that note.
mm-hmm,
Doesn't matter you do uh, minor scale, major scale, doesn't matter. So
yes.
you do Rast on here
Mm,
or here. Both are Rust.
mm,
If you make us hear Rust, you do Rust.
yeah.
So in my first book, I explain only Bolahenk register, original. We accept original register.
Mm.
Then second book we'll do transpositions, some makams, at least main ones.
Okay, interesting. And you mentioned earlier, before we forget about this, that you would maybe link them or teach them within the book, but in case they need an instructor, they can go for it. Do you
Yeah,
also link to the repertoire, the Turkish repertoire? For example, you tell them this is a
I
piece from this, this is, yeah.
yeah I put some specific exercises like
Mm,
compositions, Turkish music compositions
mm,
as an exercise, as an exercise.
okay.
For example, we practice like Rast position, like D major in
Mm,
Western tonality. I put Rast Peshev end of that section
yeah.
because they practice also Rast Peshev and Rast feeling to
Mm,
prepare them to second book.
okay. Interesting. And is this book good for non-Turks?
Yeah,
Or
of
are
course, of course.
because you are
Especially I
teaching them
wrote.
this kind of music culture, right?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, yes, go ahead. Tell
I,
me.
I
Yeah.
wrote I wrote this book especially non-Turkish people, and also even non-English speaking people. I use
Okay.
very easy language, very easy words.
Mm,
Everyone can understand. Even
mm.
they don't understand, they don't know, even they don't know English. They can copy that sentence and go to Google Translate. They can put there and they can understand, easily
Okay.
understand.
Okay. So now, if somebody starts with this book and then wants to apply to maybe Greek or Arabic or Persian music, Azeri music, they can get benefit, right? They are not
Yes, of course.
deviating from their original music. It's
No,
useful.
no,
It's useful
of
for them.
course. Yeah, this is useful, of course,
Yeah.
because at least uh, they can practice technical things.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which note you play. So uh, once they learn how they play,
Mm.
if they change tuning or if they change their position, they can play other things.
Yes.
For example, I teach on Turkish tuning, but if
Mm.
they tune their oud in Arabic tuning, they do same thing. But
Okay.
just notes name would be changed. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah. So you are giving
Technique is
them
same.
the competencies and the muscles they need
Yeah,
for
exactly,
going forward
exactly,
with their oud playing and
exactly.
their music.
That
Yeah.
that's what method does.
Okay. Since you said method,
Yeah.
how do we distinguish between a method book and non-method book from your experience? You have seen the major method books, Metodo books in Turkey and maybe others.
Mm. Uh, there are methods and also exercise books.
Okay.
Method gives you or takes you from a level to brings you to another level.
Mm.
But exercise book specific level for
Mm.
specific level some exercises.
All right.
So if you are improving, for example, let's talk about again the language. If you are intermediate in a language
Mm.
and you improve your vocabulary,
Mm.
you practice a vocabulary book, especially written for intermediate people.
All right.
You can't practice advanced book. You
Mm.
have to practice in intermediate vocabulary book.
Mm.
So this same thing, exercise books to practice in that level, specific level. If you're not that level, your practicing would be not helpful or not useful.
Mm.
The book or exercise book won't be useful for you.
Yeah.
You have to choose right one.
Okay.
But method that, as I told, takes you from somewhere to another.
So in this case, you have a vision already, Baha, in authoring this book.
Yeah.
From where we start, which pathway do we go, which difficulties are there to be tackled progressively, one after another, until we bring a mature wood player, after all. There is a vision, a
Yes.
target.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Uh,
mm,
in Turkish Oud style, we have main. We accept main two positions.
mm,
First one is second positions because in second position we play more than 20 makams,
okay.
and second one first position because we have corner notes, so first fret notes.
Mm,
So we go to first fret. We called first position. So
mm,
we have two positions, one and first and second. Start with this book. Start with second position because it's our main position. Then
mm,
use first position.
mm.
Then at the end of the book, last few pages, I wrote some exercises to change positions
Okay. All right.
because this is also important. Because,
Mm,
for example, if you play Kürdilice Asker,
mm,
there is a modulation like Uşak.
mm,
And if you play in first position, you can't play Uşak fret with
mm.
your second finger because second and third finger very close each other. So it's
Okay.
genetically close.
Okay.
But if you yeah you can't open this finger that much
Mm,
while you're playing. But you can open this finger, these two, first and
yeah.
second. You can
Mm.
open more than these two.
All right.
So you should change your position. You slide to second position and change your position and play that modulation. So
Mm.
this kind of thing, again, this changing position, I wrote and prepared people to second book.
Wonderful. It's really interesting to see that you started from the second position. When I
Yeah.
look at the violin method books for Western music,
Mhm.
some of the great masters always thought that starting with the third position is a great idea. First of all, to break the rule that we start from first position. You give them courage to know the sound by ear and go immediately there, then it will make them understand the rest of maybe 13 other positions,
yeah.
right? This is really interesting what you do here. And then what about the other positions? Is it only second and first, or maybe I see you play everywhere when you play oud?
Of course, there are other positions. Position name comes from where first finger is.
Yes,
So if your first finger on third column or third fret,
yes,
uh, you're in third position.
yes,
If your first finger go to fifth fret, you're in fifth position. It's
exactly.
easy. We
Mm,
have whole the fingerboard. So
mm,
if we take 19 and 19.5 centimeters, we
mm,
have seven position here,
mm,
eight position,
mm.
first position on soundboard.
Yeah.
So we use second position, first position in this book, then third position, fourth, fifth, sixth, till seven.
Mm,
But after fifth
mm.
would be a little bit
Sensitive.
advanced
Mm,
style,
mm,
especially that first two strings.
mm. Yes. Interesting. And just another question, I would like to go
Yeah.
into some illustrations and demos of this book. Uh, in general, the book that you are writing, not only limited to volume one, there are many things to teach students: the notes, the maqams, the rhythms, the ornaments, the dynamics. Too many subjects to be covered. How are you managing this, Baha?
Uh, Again, as I told, I make it simple as
Mm.
much as I can.
Yes.
So, and also I put some photos how they can hold,
Mm.
how they can use their mizrab or risha,
Okay.
even how they told, because how they hold. Sorry,
Yes.
we hold with pinky,
Yes.
then we close these two thumb and first finger.
Yeah.
So I took some photos about this
Mm.
and I put in the book and they can
Mm.
find. And the exercises are easiest level and English are easiest level.
Mm.
So they can find lots of things in this book.
Yes. And you cover all, like, all of a sudden you will teach them grace notes, ornaments, vibrato,
Not this one,
bliss.
not this
Yeah,
one.
I mean in general. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And
Uh,
dynamics.
in
Yeah.
my plan, yes, in
Mm.
second book and third book, uh, so I'm gonna show them how they play, even ornaments,
Mm.
Turkish ornaments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write how we see as notation and
Mm-hmm.
how we play.
Yeah.
For example, there's a gruppetto.
Mm.
Uh, for example,
Mm.
let's say gruppetto is normal notes da da di da, for example
Mm.
da da di da. But if we do gruppetto,
Mm.
so da da di da instead of this one da 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 da
Mm.
di da
Mm.
di da di da di da. Let's do this. It's
Mm.
more closer than mi fa di da di da 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 di da. So
Mm.
I put a triplet note
Mm.
in between of two notes and make it like squeeze them.
Mm.
So how we see mi fa mi re, for example, mi fa
Mm.
mi re mi re, but
Yes.
how we play mi fa mi re mi re
Mm-hmm.
we do. So
Okay.
there is a another three
Mm.
notes.
Yeah. Interesting. Baha,
Yeah,
without further ado, let's see some examples. I mean,
yeah, sure,
show us
sure,
some pages of the book, maybe some etudes, some
sure,
exercises.
sure. Let me share the
Mm.
document with you.
All right. Go ahead.
So this is
Wow.
the it's gonna be designed maybe again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did something.
Mhm.
Let's come to, there is, for example, look,
Mhm.
there are some
I know
photos.
this person.
Really,
Yeah.
you see how they hold. So the book is not designed yet. I just
Mm.
place them.
Mm.
So this kind of photos.
Mhm.
Now there are musical terms. It's standard things, but in a beginner book, it should be. They should be, and
Mhm.
then like notes
Uh-huh.
and rhythm matters. How we count,
Yes.
and then it start with open string notes
Mm.
like sol, re, la, mi, si, fa sharp.
Mhm.
Then basic one, just one note and count. That's all. Again,
Mhm.
metronome with metronome, one note and one fourth note, one eight notes, two eight notes, just counting. Then starting with other strings. Then the exercises on open strings,
Mhm.
but combinations. First two strings, first three strings, uh, four strings, five strings. Then with eight rests.
Mm.
And first chapter is finished. Then main frets comes from this, and there is first fret, first position, second fret. We slide our first finger and get second fret position. So second fret,
Mm.
second position means, and then it's related to how we have on this this position, and
Mm.
then some exercises. It goes on.
Interesting. This is so neat. Really.
Yeah, of
Very
course,
interesting.
and I'm gonna show you the position ones. I think not this. Some technical things. Where is what? Where is it? Still, huh. For example, position changes.
Mm.
Basic one, C, La sharp, C, Do.
Mm.
But here is first finger, second, start with second position, slide to left side
Mm.
to first position, then come back to second position to right side. So
Mm.
the arrows the shows the way,
I like this
which
system.
direction,
I like the
which
system.
direction. Yes,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
for example, keep second position, dots, keep second position, then C first, second position, first finger, La sharp, first position,
Mm.
first finger. Then come back again, second position, and there is repetition.
Okay.
Then,
And
uh,
you always telling
for
them about the speed, metronome, and
yes, I wrote
yeah.
recommended one,
Mm.
but they can do of course slower or faster. They can
Mm.
practice. They should practice. For example, this one, like this is like Shehnaz,
Mm.
Makam Shehnaz, but this is an exercise.
Yes.
No, nobody understands this is Shehnaz. But if you know
Mm.
Turkish music, you can understand. But otherwise, nobody understand. So there
Okay.
is again position. So between these position change,
Mm.
keep the position.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And other changing positions and other things. This is the last piece of the book.
Mm.
Hicaz Kerpeşer. There are lots of changing finger positions, finger changes, everything.
Wow. This is so beautiful. Really. So
Yeah,
beautiful. Speaking of these systematic symbols, go right, go left, and so on,
yeah,
are you going to invent some symbols later on in volume 2 and 3 for the problems of commas, for example, like
yeah.
Mahu?
I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm
And
thinking. Yeah.
how are you doing this? Because I am sure there is a culture many people are accepting and are tolerant with whatever incomplete notation system that's out there, but people get used to, okay, when you see this, do that, and yeah. So what is it
So
exactly that's planned?
actually, we need just two or three comma flats,
Hmm.
because related to some people, we need more things, or we need to write just numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Like we use normal flat, like our folk music. Folk
Hmm.
music use normal flat, and it's written flat two, flat
Hmm.
three,
Okay.
something. It This is logical. One,
Hmm.
two, three, four, five. This is logical.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also, we can use specific uh, specific signs,
Hmm.
like reverse flat, like
Hmm.
quarter flat.
Yes.
If we can put one dash, like slash, on it,
Hmm.
we can use that one to show uşak
Hmm.
flat.
Yes.
But what about lower uşak?
Okay.
So that's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we can sign it
Hmm.
just one dash, maybe two dash,
Hmm.
lower uşak, we can say. But there are lots of confusion in on the score on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
You see, for example, in Karciar or Hüzzam, there are lots of mi flat and C flat.
Yes.
They change.
Hmm.
They change depends on the melody.
Mm-hmm.
So how we write this? So one note, one comma, one note, two comma, one note, three comma, one note again, one comma, one note again, two comma. So it's really difficult to write the music down.
Hmm.
Uh, that's why all masters
Hmm.
says don't read the music, play the music.
Okay.
When you see notation, all my masters told me I was playing,
Hmm.
like sight reading, and I was playing the music,
Hmm.
and they told me, okay, you are good, your notation is good, you are playing the notes, but you don't play the song.
Hmm.
I didn't understand in that time, but then when I memorize the songs, I can express my feelings with that song or by that song.
Hmm. Okay.
So you have to know melodies. You have to memorize the melodies, and you have to know
Hmm.
lyrics as well, if there's a
Okay.
lyrics,
Hmm.
because lyrics explain something, and music uh, help lyrics to give that expression.
Okay. Interesting.
So you have to memorize all things
Hmm.
and feel it, then express
Hmm.
the music with your instrument,
Okay. So
using your
the
instrument.
the introduction of videos and audios that you are going to give to your students will add a great value for sure for this perspective. At the
Yeah,
same
of
time,
course.
the new symbols that you are going to introduce is going to be for educational purposes to alert them. Be careful. This is this. This is that.
Yeah,
While
yeah.
they learn, but later on they should go beyond this, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
they should. Yeah, we can write all notes. This is
Yeah.
second position. This is first position. Something.
Yes.
Uh,
Mm.
they have to learn. For example, in beginning of the book,
Mm.
I wrote some uh, stroke heights,
Yes.
down, up, something. But
Mm.
after few exercise, or maybe just one exercise, I didn't write them, because
Mm.
if you need, you can check previous one.
Yes.
But now you have to memorize and you have to play in your mind.
Okay. So you teach them the system, you teach them how to fish one time, and that's it.
Yes,
They
that's
have
it.
to live. Wonderful. So let's have a break now, Baha,
Yeah,
before we go into some illustrating examples on Dawood.
sure.
What would you like our listeners and viewers listen to one of your pieces, recorded
Uh,
pieces?
they can listen from my latest album, the Turkish Oud.
Mm-hmm.
First improvisation, Rast Taksim.
Mm-hmm. Great. So we'll listen to the rest Taksim of the album. Thanks, Baha.
Welcome.
Yeah, Baha, now after we listen to this track from the album, Uh, how would you like to show us on the Oud some of the things that you put in the book for your students? Let's have some flavor of the exercises on the Oud.
Okay. For example, uh, second position,
Mm,
basic one, make a connection between two strings, like
mm,
changing strings. What we do? Re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi. Just once you go
mm,
to below string. Re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi. You repeat this.
mm,
Uh, something like this. When you until you play clear. Then
mhm,
add la note and then practice repeatedly.
yeah.
Then add C flat, second finger, and
Mm,
repeat it. So, for example, this one. And as I thought, the position change, for example, si, la, si, la. You need to practice and make it faster.
mhm,
And another thing, for example, start like Kurdi, then change position. When you play re, open string, you have
mhm.
time to change.
Okay.
Again, return, re, change position, do, si, la.
Mm.
For example, practice this one first slowly, then improve the tempo.
Interesting. This is exciting, really, Baha. How do we people get this book?
Uh, I'm gonna
And when is it going to be available, actually?
yeah, in February, because it's in now, it's designing now,
Mm.
and they made some shape.
Mm.
Uh, in February, I'm gonna release on my Bandcamp account.
Okay.
They can find, and also I'm gonna upload it on Amazon, Google Store,
Okay.
and Apple Store, iBook Store. I mean,
Mm.
those three online stores,
Mm.
as well as my Bandcamp account.
Okay.
On Bandcamp account, if they want, they can. I can send them as PDF
Mm.
as well.
Mhm.
Uh, that's all. But I'm gonna print out the book and I'm gonna send from here to everyone.
Okay. So you will have a printed version and you will have electronic version
Yes,
plus Udemy for those who would like to complement
yes.
the book
Plus
with
plus
videos and audio.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And you continue to give classes like Super Peer and others.
Yes,
What
I
are you
do. I
giving?
do. Uh, I'm gonna start in February also
Mm.
another sessions.
Mm.
I already have 28 sessions. Each session has different makam
Mhm.
and new series uh, start from February till end of June.
Mm.
I'm gonna put recorded videos
Mm.
and I'm gonna play 5 songs and explain where which modulation in there. So
Mhm.
how they can modulate.
Yes.
So we I'm gonna talk uh, on songs.
Yeah.
So real, uh,
Sharkies. Yeah.
yeah, real sharkers and
Mm.
real uh, real samples.
Mm. Interesting. I really took the 28 lessons with Baha. I
Yeah,
learned a lot, really. We talked about Sayir. We talked about a lot of good compositions, his own Sayirs. I don't know, where do you write these Sayirs in? Is it another book that you are writing, the Makam book?
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
planning to write a Makam book, Mimail.
Mm.
Uh, I have because I have lots of
Mm.
notes. So
Yes.
I wrote for my students and also super peer. I
Mm.
have lots of notes, lots of save samples.
Mm.
Uh, Now I need to just bring them together and
Mm.
make a structure,
Yes,
write them down again clearly,
in a
and then
book. Yeah.
send it to design and then make it
Yeah,
publish.
I really learned a lot from your experience. It's a
Good to
hands-on
hear that.
experience. Even though you are teaching oud, I am not an oud player. I do play violin, but I learned a lot. Like very great pieces selected, the sayers, the analysis of the phrases as we go,
Yeah,
and many other things. Actually, a lot of experiences that Baha was explaining in these. Looking forward really for the new classes. So super peer is one. What else are
yeah.
you giving, Baha?
Uh, I have some videos in Turkish in
Mm.
YouTube,
Yes.
under YouTube membership.
Mm.
Uh, but if they know Turkish or
Mm.
understand Turkish, they can follow that. But
Yeah.
almost I do same thing in Super Peer. They can join Super Peer course.
And you do Zoom lessons as well, right?
I do Zoom lessons. Yeah,
Mm. So they can reach you through your website and your
yeah,
online
exactly,
schools.
exactly.
Yeah.
Nowadays, my websites was attacked and I had to delete them
Oh,
from the server because all server went down.
okay.
And so I'm gonna create new. I'm gonna do a new website,
Okay. So
but
looking
they they
forward
they,
to it. Yeah,
they,
sorry to
they
hear.
can they can find me on social media as
Mm-hmm.
Baha Yetkin.
Yeah. Baha, thank you very much, really. This was another
You're
great
welcome.
interview, and congrats again for the new book.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward for a lot of good activities and good stuff you are doing online
Yeah,
for your students and for music lovers.
you're
Looking
welcome.
forward for the Makan book as well. Yeah.
Of course, it will come.
Yeah. Thank you very much, our viewers, and see you again soon.
Thank you very much. See you.
Thanks.
Take care.